Same, just a little.
Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome in. Thank you for those that are tuning in. Thank you for those that are about to tune in. Welcome to the Beyond the Sum of Our Parts. You're here with me, Mike. We got Jordan,
Hey.
Jordan Wave. We got Trish Wave. So they know.
Hello.
Yeah, there you go. And today's topic is going to be on communication.
Yeah.
Now, this is a good one because this can take all day and there's so many points of views on it. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it. Let's go. Today's topic is communication.
Yeah, so effective communication. And the first question I have to get all of us rolling and marinating on this is, do you feel like your partner should be the one person in the world that you share your everything with? Like all your thoughts, the everything's that are going on up here. And do you feel like it's reasonable that they always have to hold space for you? Okay.
Huh?
Go. What? Huh?
Huh? Like, listen, I heard you. You said a lot of things there. I'm sorry. I'm not going to be rude. Yeah, no, yeah. It's nice, but that level of expectation and pressure is hard, bro. It's like
Yeah.
the one day you can't do it, it's gonna spiral into something. And it's good to have them. It's good to have a multitude. It's good to share everything with them. Don't get me wrong. If that's what you feel like you want to share it to them, should they be receptive of that sharing? Yes, absolutely. They're your partner. However,
Okay.
and setting that and making that like a mandated expectation is wrong. No,
Right.
I mean, because it's like they may not even be able to reach you like somebody else could. Because after a while, it's like I'll tell my girl, I'm still single, but I would tell my girl, yo, you're beautiful, but it don't mean nothing coming from me after how many longs we've been dating. But let somebody else say it and they love it. So it's just like that. They're
Right.
not going to receive that information very well. So it's that. That's my opinion on it. I could be wrong. Anybody else got any suggestions on that? You go ahead and let us know. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I would love to hear more about what everyone in the comments was saying. Like, do you feel like your partner should be the one person that you share your everything up here with? Trish, were you gonna say something?
Yeah, I like that because the other part to that is there's no one person that fulfilled all of us. So I feel like my relationships are all like I feed off of
Yeah.
whatever I'm reflecting type thing. So um, the marriage complex, the dynamics are interesting because it depends once again on your background and what you've seen, what you've witnessed. So the ideal response would be like, no, that's ridiculous. Like we're healed, like we get that now at this age, this level, but I don't think that's not what's being portrayed out there. So people really have some distortive ways of expectations because we're very like controlling, right? People are
Mm-hmm.
very controlling over human beings. It's very scary how controlling, they don't, they see the flesh, they judge your personality, they judge your character. Like it's already boxed in. So for you to like separate from that and understand that you get your heart is like kind of like with everyone, everywhere. You got to find it, you got to really like know, makes life easier as far as like just feeling light and being able to share. But there's many times and places where you're not able to share, and so that person
Right.
ends up being the everything.
Right.
So, and I've seen it over and over, and I still see it to this day. Like it's beautiful when you don't have that and you can totally be like connected and respect one another and allows people to fly and recognize the gifts that everybody wins, right? But also understand that things look very differently for everybody.
And I think that last part is the most important because I remember getting into a relationship and being like, I want this person to be my everything. I want them to be my best friend. I want to tell them everything that's on my mind. And
That
then that person was like, no, you need to find somebody else. I don't have this. I can't hold this space for you. And I
Yeah.
was just like, but
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
expectations crushed. Okay. And for me, it was a big shock because it was like, but you're my person, so you're supposed to be my person.
Yeah.
And it took a lot for me to realize that just because this person isn't capable of holding space for me doesn't mean that they don't love me, doesn't mean that I'm too much, it doesn't mean anything. It just means that they don't have the space to contain all that I am. Okay. Like Trish said, there nobody should have to be your everything. That's
I find it interesting
yeah,
now as a mom.
we
Like
want to
I remember my kids, they experienced that at fourth grade. The girls, the boy not so much just yet, but my girl, she experienced that fourth grade, thinking that her best friend was going to be her everything. And when she realized that there were groups of people and people were forming their cliques and people started separating, right? She experienced that, and I thought, oh man, how early do we go through that to the point where you just numb it, and so you do kind of cling on and latch on to things.
right.
it's that mentality it's like you're my friend and you're my only friend, and I have no other friends but
Very,
you.
very
Right.
Yeah, that's
Right.
that phase you get. That's that phase you get as a kid, and then you eventually grow out of that. You learn from that,
yeah.
and you like
Let's hope so, right? Yeah.
you know. For some people, like I don't know anybody who's still in that phase of that mentality. That's a rough adulthood life you living right there. But yeah, so at some point you do grow out of it, and you do understand that everybody has their place. Everybody, like they say that old school, it takes a village to raise a child
Yeah.
in a family. So in that village, there's different people playing different roles in different parts. Now, Jordan, with your expectations of your relationship, there's nothing wrong with wanting that. However, the delivery aspect of it is a little bit upfront. A person's gonna be like, "Nah, I ain't with it." But it's like saying, like, "Yo, you my best friend." So when I come to you on something, whatever that may be, I feel safe and secure. I'm gonna talk to you about it, and sometimes you may just sit there to just listen. Cool. And then sometimes you may not be able to. Sometimes you may give me advice and everything else. That's cool too. But for us to be together, you that person that I'm gonna tell everything to. Not saying you got to be the first one to know it. Not saying you got to be the last one to know it. But I'm gonna come to you and talk to you about everything I'm feeling because I feel like you're my person, and I want you to know this. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that. Where the issue is like at the end of the day, it's the people get into relationships and it changes. The dynamic changes. You know what I mean? And it's very important that we need to be friends first. And a lot of people may say, nah, I don't do friends or I don't have sex with my friends. I mean, that's cool. Some of us do. But no, it's beyond that. It's understanding the connection of a friend is like you got some friends that are, they here today, gone tomorrow. And you got some friends that y'all ain't spoke to each other in years. But as soon as you hit up the phone, it's like you ain't miss a beat. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Right.
Like it's flowing, it's going, it's taking off. And and to find that in a partnership and in a relationship is very important to have. But then if you don't have that, then that's fine. It's okay. That person we all come in seasons.
Yeah.
Some people own the crops of the land and some people get seasonal crops. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important for us to understand that not everybody is going to be, even the person that you think is your person is going to be that unless you had that conversation with them.
Right.
Like my last relationship and me talking to somebody now, it's like, listen, I like you, the vibe is good, but I see that you bring up a lot that we are very different people and that we are, but it ain't affecting us now. However, if it becomes a problem later on in the future, by all means, I'm not going to hold any grudges. I'm learning from you, you learning from me. This isn't a waste of time. We enjoying each other's company. Let's keep it like
Right.
that. enjoy that, whatever it may go to, because our intentions to each other is to be great with one another, right? But then there's so many things about us that are different.
Right.
But that's where the friendship comes into play, because my friends are different from me. I'm a very crass, abrasive. I'm a live wire. I speak unapologetically, and I don't mean to hurt people's feelings, but when I see it and I'm aware that somebody's feelings are hurt, I will apologize to them. But I'm 100% not the nicest person. I'm not gonna lie. I have good intentions. My heart is pure. It means it has pure thoughts and pure meaning. But I'm the most crashest person in the world. But I have abundance of friends, and they understand that about me. They know how to deal with me. They know how to handle me. They know how to, because they choose. Like, I'm not begging anybody to stay with me,
Right.
and I'm not begging to stay with anybody else. But they understand me and I understand them. And once you know how people are, you know how to deal with them. And going back to, like I said, I know I segued into a lot of different things, but it's like you wanting your own person to be your person. There's nothing wrong with that. To be your everything to talk to.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with wanting that. They just have to be willing. They got to like you and them have to understand that it's okay that every now and again I may not have the answers for you. I may not even have the time or the space to give that to you right now, but I'm here for you. You
And
know what
I
I'm saying?
think that's a really important thing to recognize is just like you said, it's not because they don't want to, but some people legitimately can't. They do not have the space because they have so much going on, or they are in a space where they just can't hold space for you. And it's not fair, in my opinion. I don't believe it's fair for us to hold them, to be mad at them or hold it against them because they're not capable of holding space. It's just not fair. It's like asking a Chevy to be a Ferrari and then being mad because it's not a Ferrari.
Mm.
Yeah. And,
And
yeah.
that
And then,
right there, I want to tag into, that's the part where the stimulus and the response of like where the confusion gets kind of like this person is showing up this way, but really when you start getting busy and life starts taking off and it's being crazy, you turn into different people along the way, right? So where if I'm in a setting where they're paying for everything and I'm doing a contract and the food is being taken care of and I am social and all this great stuff and everything's going good, everybody's being taken care of, and then you get thrown into life. You get thrown into real life, and then you start getting shunned and pushed away from people that you thought were friends, or you're building acquaintances. There people are just really acquaintances. I don't have friends, so I'm really a solo type person. This is like beyond me, but just my journey as far as socializing has been very tricky, um, because everybody is just you got to accept the characters, right? Like it's you have enough time to like build something and actually see it through. Yeah, so
and so and maybe my analogy is way off, and let me know if I am. But you're talking about building something, friends, lovers, and family. Like when you're building a house, there's so many components a part of building a house. Look at friendships and building something with someone, and an individual per se, or a relationship, as building house. There's the wood, there's the concrete, there's the fiberglass.
the foundation.
Everybody in your circle plays a part in building your home with you.
Absolutely.
So and like whether people say they're soloists and they're doloists or whatever, it's cool. Like real soloists live by themselves. They don't have families, they don't have tribes, they don't have quote unquote associates or
That's
friends
not
or anything.
necessarily what I'm referring to when I think soloist. I think one perspective of it. When I say soloist, I need to go inward in order for me to come outward. So I don't depend on somebody else entirely, but I am very dependent on the people that are in my life and in my space. Either it's energetic exchange or it's like it's different aspects of my life. It's never just one area. So when I say soloist, I think more so like when I get creative, not because of my relationship or my marriages or anything like that. That could have came off. Communication, right? Effective communication.
There you go.
Mm. Yep.
Yeah.
Hey.
Do
So
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you were going. I was like, no, not in that aspect. Clearly, I have.
No. I just meant like the only reason I said soloist is because I was watching the show and and they put a bunch of lone wolf people together, and it's a good social experiment where they put a group of people that are like soloists, lone wolves, and they have no friends, no social interaction with other people, and they put them in a contest together. They're natural survivalists, and they put them in a group. And if you don't work together, you get kicked off. You get kicked off the show. So the trick is to get these people who are so set in their ways to be by themselves, but to be in a structure with somebody they don't know. They may not have anything in common. The only thing that they all have in common is that they say, I'm a loner, I'm a soloist, I'm a lone wolf, I'm my own wolf pack in my own pack. Kind of talk. And so it's like it's like I'm gonna watch it because it's like it's a really good social experiment to see and to unfold. And it's like I know a couple of people definitely gonna get kicked off for sure because it's like some people ain't really made for that. Some people ain't really made for that. It's like they are, but it's like you gotta want it though. You really gotta want it. Now it goes back to that whole thing. What everybody wants, money. So this is a cash prize thing. It's like a reality show. Every reality show is a cash prize. Everybody gets paid. So it's like, how you gonna do it? How you gonna survive this? Dealing with somebody, you guys got different opinions. You guys are very headstrong, and it's gonna be like a season of compromise. The word compromising, coming to the same idea of things, and you're going to see how some people mesh well and how some people take off great and how some people are just crashing and burning first day in, and then they gradually get better, and then you see other people that just like, nah, they just wasn't working out, period. But it's like I watched that over 90 Day Fiance, over Love After Lockup, because I'm like, all of those shows right there is just, yeah, it's just trouble waiting to happen. It's drama felt. I'm not with all that. The social experiment on that, it's just no. You just look at it, and you can just tell it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's like,
so bringing it back around the corner to effective communication. There was this video that we talked about, or we didn't talk about, but I sent y'all a while back about Nikki Giovanni, and she was talking about how she wanted her partner to lie to her. I have the video. I'm not sure if I can play it on here.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure everybody knows about that clip, but if you could play it. But yeah, go ahead, run it. See what happens.
See. If everything falls apart, I apologize.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's Nikki Giovanni talking to James
Baldwin? No.
Yeah, James Baldwin. Yeah, James Baldwin. And he said in the video, I can't lie to you because you're my partner. I have to tell you the truth. That's who you are to me.
Huh, she's like, stop. I figured it out.
You can lie to me. And you will. If and you're going off with Maddie someplace, you're lying to me. Because what the hell do I care about the truth? I care if you're there. What Billie Holiday say, hush now, don't explain.
All right, I accept that.
Of course you'll lie to me. Because I don't even want to care. What does the truth matter? And why are you going to be truthful with me when you lie to everybody else? You lied when you smiled at that cracker down the job, right? Lie to me, smile. Treat me the same way you would treat him.
I can't treat you the way I treat him.
You must. Because I've caught the frowns and the anger. He's happy with you. Of course he doesn't know you're unhappy. You grin at him all day long. You come home and I catch hell because I love you. I get least of you. I get the very minimum. And I'm saying, fake it with me. Is that too much of the black woman to ask of the black man?
Okay, so
I love it.
So
I love it. It's so much to go off of that. Listen, she's not wrong though, and I understand where she's coming from on that. And like I said, I understand where James Baldwin is coming from on that as well. And she's not wrong for saying that because it goes back to our last podcast, social norms and expectations. We are always pretending to be something for somebody else. Our partner does get the least of that because we give them everything. And what she is saying is that you faking it with them, but then I'm still catching hell and you ain't treating me right. So still treat me right. And if that means faking it, fake it. Or lie to her. And in the sense, it's like, she ain't wrong for asking that. She's not wrong. What she's saying is treat me good because I catch hell from you and I'm catching hell outside, but then I come home and I catch hell from you because you frustrated outside. But you treat everybody else good but me. And I'm your source of outlet. But while I will be your source of outlet, please treat me right. Lie to me. Make me feel good. Make me feel happy with you. Whatever that may be. Lie to me, make me feel good. And I don't think she wants to, I don't know. She's not advocating like, to lie to me and to be unfaithful and untrue and shit like that. I'm sorry for cursing and things like that. She's just saying, I don't always have to catch hell from you. When you come home and you having a bad day, understandable. Decompress, do it the right way, communicate effectively, but then also still make them feel good about themselves. Still make them feel good about being with you and that you appreciate them for putting up with you and taking in your crap and being by your side through your hard days. We're not gonna always give everybody the best of ourselves. That's not a guarantee. We're flawed human beings. We're not perfect by the definition. We're not perfect. We come flawed. If you're a religious person, we're made in God's image, but we are not God. So we can't walk on water. We can't turn water into wine. So we're definitely going to make a lot of mistakes, and relationships is a part of that. And being with somebody that you're able to deal with that and accept that from them because you love them and they love you, and it has to be a two-way street on that. Everything else, you guys can like different things. Your person isn't saying that it isn't that your person is. You guys have everything in common. No, it's your person that you both have mutually connectively understand that we're different people, but I still want to be with you. Your bad days is still a good day to me, and I'm still gonna make you feel special, and vice versa. Lie, and she's saying that to people that can't do it. Lie. I'm not up for that, but I understand what she's saying. Like that. James Baldwin's got a point where I can't lie to you because you my person. I got to be upfront with you. I got to tell you what's on my mind, and he ain't wrong for that either. They're saying the same thing. They're just saying it differently.
Yeah.
And there's the effective communication aspect of it. You get like and that's like very important in like understanding that when like I've never been married. The longest relationship was like a year, but I've had several of them, several across the board throughout going on 40. I'm about to hit 40, and it's more than one hand. No kids of my own, but I've been around a lot of people, and I've been friends with a lot of people that are gone through divorce, and I've been the side piece, and I've been the support of a lot of people's relationships and success, and it's the communication effectively is the most important part in any relationship for it to strongly succeed. Like you got to be honest with that person, and you still got to make that person feel like they matter and they're important to you,
Right.
and they special. The moment you stop doing that is the moment you've given up on not only yourself but that individual. And if that's the case, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, let's just take a break. If you're married, it's okay to say take a break. However the rules you may want to put up during this break period, take a break and then come back. Don't get divorced. Just take a break and come back. And then for people that are single, you can take a break and then come back, do the same thing too. Or in the relationship dating phase, do the same thing too. But then come back and then reevaluate yourself, reevaluate your partner, and see if that's the choice you really want to make. Are you able to live up to what they're asking for? Don't say yeah because you love them. Don't try. No. Don't try. No. Do not try. Do. As Yoda says, do not try. Do. And if you can't do it, then it's fine. There's nothing wrong with saying I can't give you that.
Right. Accepting the reality. Yeah.
And the person has to make that decision if they want to accept you for that. And they have to accept you at that point for what you said and for who you are. Expecting and hoping for you to change is wrong.
Not
If
realistic.
you do change, it's a bonus. It's great. But if you don't, then you deal with that as is.
Right. Trish, input? Mike said it all.
Yeah. Yeah. All of it. Like just took it out my mouth. I loved how assertive she was and how very like she delivered that so organically, and he took it. So like, no, but it's really matter of fact. Like, this is how it
Right.
is. And I think about the energetic exchange, like even through marriage, the energetic exchange outwards versus what you're left with to come inwards, because the way the life is set up, it's like the man goes out, we go out there, the man, woman. I've worked 4 jobs, my husband's worked 4 jobs. We go out there and we bring our kids out there and we're in the community and we're volunteering here at this soup kitchen. Home is like wherever you're at with your village.
Okay.
But then when do you, so yeah, it just gets to be like a lot. And if you grew up like that, like at what point do you get to sit there and meet yourself? But the person that you're with gets everything and they've got to carry that around
Right.
and ask that with you in public, even though that's not how we're feeling. But if you show up any other way, it's not okay. Instead of some
Mm.
villages are just not all designed the
Mm.
way it should be or where it ought to be or how we're carving out space for ourselves right now. Like these are the realities of that. So culturally, people are taught very differently
Right.
and it impacts communication.
Right.
It shuts off your communication immediately. So, and I have to bring it back to what that early childhood thing looks like, because those children become adults who become relationships and so forth. It goes on, but I think about all of the places where it is practiced and it looks beautiful and it looks like, wow, I can't believe if I lived my life anything different than that. And then, real life, like where you grew up and you're just like, that's, that's not a thing. Right. So like coming to terms with that is nerve wracking.
Mm.
And it's just shaking you out of your boots because you're like, wow, what was I doing back then to, you know what I mean? So like an evolution expansion type thing. I think that what she's saying was very powerful. Once again, what he's saying is very powerful, and it's worth a raw conversation to be had because those are not happening at all. At all.
No.
And it's tough to take, but I mean, if it's coming, like Mike said, if it's coming from a good space, like a good space, you'll hear it. You'll hear the message, and yeah.
And like as Trish was talking, and I'm reflecting on the video, and I'm thinking about everybody that I know that is going through something, and it's like it's literally like communicating everything, and it's like if you can't be comfortable, like I know for women it's big on infidelity, right? And if your partner is a looker, likes to look, and you see that from the beginning, ask him those questions. Because people avoid those questions because they don't want to hear the truth. They avoid asking that question because they know 2 things is going to happen. Either he's going to tell me the truth and I'm going to feel hurt, or he's going to lie to me and I'm going to believe it, but I know it's not the truth, but I'm going to stick with it. And it's like, don't do that to yourself because you're only setting yourself up. But if you are going into it and understanding that, and I want people to understand that men, when it comes to men and women, we are always going to be different. We are always going to be different. And women, and most women, and I'm not going to say all, but most women out there can come on par to men when it comes to compartmentalizing emotions. However, not the majority, not the people that are married, not the people that are in relationships currently, because they're always going to misunderstand that infidelity is attached to the heart, is attached to the love and the soul. And for a lot of men, and I'm gonna say a lot, it's not. It's not. They will ride or die for you. They will die for you, and they will go through hell for you. They'll get shot for you. And once again, I'm not condoning. I'm not saying, hey, go ahead and cheat on your girl, or you should be okay with that. I just want you to understand that if they do ever step out, it's nothing. It's not you. It's just them. It's the nature of the beast. They're always going to look. They've always been looking.
But that's not just a man thing. I mean, that's that's a human thing. Not all there are women who step out of relationships too, and it's not always for the emotional thing.
And like I said, not all women do it. Not all women do it, but
Right.
not all women do it. But there is some that are more. The numbers of that is more towards there's more women that do it emotionally than there are women that don't.
But I think all
Because
of it comes back to effective communication. If you felt like you
yeah,
were safe enough to communicate, hey, my need is not being met in this relationship, people wouldn't have to step out. Or if they did choose to have an open relationship or whatever dynamic they decided on, it be based on effective communication and not, I'm trauma responding to my needs not being met.
and being sneaky linkers.
Right, right.
The sneaky links is where you got somebody you've been dating on the low for a hot minute, but you've been doing your thing for a hot minute. Please. No, 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 no. Close the door. Close the door. Close. I am so sorry. I thought I locked the door. Oh my god! I thought I locked the door. Hold up, man.
But like for me, taking it back to the video that we watched, like I understand both of their perspectives, but I cannot say that I fully agree with both of their perspectives. So one of the
And why is
things,
that? And why is that?
and I'm gonna tell you right now. So, one of the things Nikki Giovanni said was, because I love you, I get the least of you. And I completely understand that sentiment, right? It's like we are taken for granted. You love me, and so I'm always going to be here. So I don't have to put on the airs. I don't have to put on the show. I don't have to fancy schmancy you because I know you're going to be here, right? But at the same time, after that, I know what that feeling feels like, and that's not cool. But the solution that she came up with, fake it till you make it and lie to me to make me feel good, or fake it with me. She didn't say fake it till you make it. Fake it with me and lie to me. That's not the answer, because that's only asking this person to be inauthentic with you. Just so you're asking him to spend his entire or their entire existence pretending to be somebody they're not. Where do they have the opportunity to be their authentic selves? But with that, James Baldwin saying, I can't lie to you because I love you. Like, I felt that in my soul. Like, if you love me, I hope that you don't feel like you need to lie to me, right? Because if that is the case, it makes me who I am, speaking for myself. It makes me question the level of our love, because if our love is unconditional, you shouldn't feel like you have to lie to me, because there is nothing that you can say that is going to scare me away. Because that lying is a self-preservation. I'm lying because I'm scared of the consequence. I'm scared of how you're going to react. I'm scared of the consequence. There is some fear of the repercussions, right? Whether it's for me, for you, for whoever. But if my love is truly unconditional, there shouldn't be a fear. I'm not going to throw you away. I'm not going to, whatever, because that's not unconditional love. But then it comes back to, okay, so how do you effectively communicate when you have those moments where you come home from work and you had a crap day and you just want to let it all out and just blah, right? How do you engage with that other person who's expecting you to connect with them? And that's where being able to be comfortable with your partner, being able to have that safe space to be open and honest is important, so that you can say, this was my crap day, all this stuff happened, blah, 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 blah. But then we don't leave it at that. You don't just, I'm not a dumpster. You don't just dump all your stuff and walk away. Now you're good and I'm a go. No, we have this conversation, we process it, and then afterwards we do some activity to get us back to a neutral place. Whether that's spiritual, you want to cleanse and clear, or whatever, watching TV, watching a comedy together, whatever, to shift the energy so that now we can be in this space together and feel loved and accepted and supported, right? That's just for me. Because it doesn't make any sense. But then at the same time, and I recognize this, there are a lot of partners that will say, I want you to tell me everything. And Mike, we talk about this all the time. I want you to tell me everything. I want you to share your everything with me. And then you go to share and they'll be like, what? And blow up and they can't hold it, or, whatever. And so it's finding that balance. Don't ask if you can't handle it.
There's that part. There's that part. Your expectation, what you asking for at some point, you gotta understand. You asking for it, you gotta be able to receive it too. And you gotta be okay with what you get when you ask. I tell people when I'm dating them, listen, I don't have much to give you. I can lose my money today, but the one thing you gonna get from me is always honesty. You're gonna get my word. And if I say I'm loyalty, I'm loyalty. And my loyalty may be different to how you may see it, but I'm just explaining to you who I am, how I am, and you make your decision from that point on.
Right.
So if you see me looking at a chick, I already told you I like women. I enjoy looking at women. Now, if you feel insecure about that, by all means, that's nothing I can do because every day I talk to you. Every day I'm with you. So if you still feel insecure, even though I'm in your face every day, and I look at somebody else, but I'm holding your hand, and you still feel some type of way, you need therapy at this point because there's nothing I will ever do to fix that because you're always going to feel that way. And that's an insecurity issue. It's like, people be like, oh, no, that's not insecurity. It's called respect. It's called insecurity because you expecting somebody not to look at somebody. Well, for me not to look at anybody, that means we're in a bubble. And it's just you and me.
I feel like I understand the respect part because there is a fine line. Like if there's a person walking in front of you and you notice them and you look, okay, whatever. Even if you look, they walk by, you want to see the back end and you do a real quick turnaround. Okay, cool. I get it.
Nature.
Right? But then there's those like person is walking and you like, oh my God, look at this. With your girl and you like doing all this and girl, all you find okay.
No, but once again, like I said, you're right. You're right. Now, when you now that right there, let's be real. That's like, oh my God, babe, did you see that? Come on, let's be real.
But some people do have that relationship where they can do that.
Yeah, no, but they can't. Some people have that kind of relationship. But you establish that from the beginning, though. Those are your terms. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, let's be real. Ain't nobody. I'm not finna do all that. I'm gonna be like, yo, you see that?
But there are people that do.
I ain't gonna lie. I did that when I was in middle school. Okay, but there are people out there that do it. But then, like I said, you know what you're getting into, and if you know that's that kind of person, and he comes back to you, he says, "I'm sorry." He generally is sorry, but that's who he is. And if you don't like it, then make that decision yourself.
Time to go.
End it right there because it's not enough for you. It's not you're gonna want somebody to change who they are and they're not going to.
Right.
You're wanting them to, and they're gonna do it, and it'll last 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and then they hit you with the, oh my God, I can't believe he cheated on me. What you mean you can't believe? You had him suppress himself. Right. So as soon as the cup and the bottle exploded out, he acted out. She acted out. You caused the bomb. You caused the bomb. You put all the ingredients for the bomb and you put it on a slow timer. And when it exploded, you forgot what timer you put it on. And that's what you got. You got the end result of that. It's like, come on, man, stop playing yourself. You know what I'm saying? And it is just that. It is just that. It's just like I said, I tell people up front, and if you make your decision, you make your decision. From that, I'm not finna lie to you. I'm always gonna be honest with you about it.
Right.
I want the same thing in front. If you and that's just me. People be like, "Oh, you're not a real man. Oh, if you let your girl do this and do that." I'm like, bro, that's your opinion. You're entitled to it. We still kicking it. I just know at the end of the day, you still gonna be in your situation where you gotta pretend what you not, and then you still gonna do you on the side. And then when it blows up in your face, you're gonna be the one either hurt or the one coming out of pocket because you got caught slipping.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing I could do. Why be with somebody if you still want to go out there if you still want to go out there thoughting? All right, cool. Get somebody that accepts you in your thought ways.
Right. That's the part. Why be with somebody when you can't be yourself with that somebody? Like, I don't want to come home and have to pretend. That's exhausting.
I'm tired enough.
Right. I want to come home and be like, this is me. I was sorry. But like that is what
somebody's watching musicals.
I love my musicals. Don't judge me. Okay. Authenticity. That's me. But and that's what it really comes down to when it comes back to effective communication. It's not just, is it effective? Are you communicating the things that make sense? But are you communicating in truth? Are you communicating the authenticity of who you are and what you want and what you need? And I feel like that's where we get lost, because we feel like, back to last episode, social norms and expectations, we can't have these conversations because it's not socially acceptable. Like,
You can't even ask a question past 3 questions before somebody's like irritated with you.
right. Like, I feel like you're grilling me, and I'm like, no, I get that a lot, actually. I feel like you're grilling me because you're asking all these questions. I'm like,
understand.
I just want to understand. Like, I'm a curious. I'm like a cat. I'm just curious. I want to poke it and understand it and figure it out. But
We don't have
don't
patience.
like that. Yeah, people don't like that. So how do we communicate more effectively in these dynamics?
It's hard because we've been wired in, like you said, social norm and expectation. The social norm is to basically lie and to pretend to be something that you're not, to please other people. So it's literally about reconditioning, undoing years of work.
Yes.
Years of work, and wanting to put in that work, and dealing with somebody who's capable of understanding and accepting that. Because the problem is, you may love somebody and you want to be with somebody, but then people are going to say, no, I'm not okay with this. But you still want to be with them, but they don't want to be with you because their social norms and expectation is so deeply rooted in them. It's going to ruin the best thing they've ever had because they're still programming to being one way.
Oh, you preaching a whole. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? There's nothing else we can do about it. It's a continuously work in progress, and the people have to want to do that, and you have to be okay with understanding that they're not going to be okay with it, and you're going to be hurt. And a lot of people say, "I don't want to do this all over again. I don't want to be hurt." Unfortunately, as long as you breathing and you're in trying to involve the person that is, you're trying to involve with a separate human being and a separate entity, you're going to get hurt because you've been programmed to expect something that is unrealistic.
Right. And that's expectations. That's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, you want people to lie. You're still feeding into the lie, but then it's like you want somebody to be real and genuine, but then you can't handle the real and genuine. And I would always not jokingly, but I'll say this to women. I want men are fake out here. They're not real. They're not this, that, and the third. I'm like, really? You ever heard about what you put out there is what you get?
Well, you talked about this last episode. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so we're going to go into it now again. What you put out there is what you get. So if men are fake and they're not real, they're not genuine, then ask yourself, why are you getting these kind of people? What are you projecting out there? Because then when you say, oh, I'm my real self. All right, cool. Let me break it down for you. Is that your real hair? No. Is that your real face? No. Are you really that tall? No. Does your body really look like that, or is that a corset? Because once it come out, is it like that cheese melted in the sun, and then when you unwrap it, it's just everywhere?
Oh gosh, reminds me of
I've seen it.
The frozen dough in the can that pops open and all the dough just.
It's like Jiffy Puff. You know what I'm saying?
Pootie Tang.
You know what I'm saying?
You remember Pootie Tang?
Pootie Tang. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. It's like people are asking for things, but then they're not like. You got a whole generation of people.
They don't like the reflection.
Yes.
Reflection is.
It's like you know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, who you kidding out here? You want the authenticity, you want the realness, you want the real person, but then at the same point in time, you're not projecting your real self. They only get the real you.
Mad.
Yeah, they only get the real you, and then you gotta accept me for who I am. Yeah, I accepted the person I met the first day. This new person is somebody different. Oh, we're still the same people. No, you're not.
So then in terms of effective communication, so if there is this person who likes to wear a lot of makeup and get done up,
yeah,
how do they communicate? How do you navigate that? Is it on the first date they bring a picture of themselves on makeup to be like, this is the authentic me, this is what you're now?
And once again, that's the conversation you got to have with people. It's very difficult. We're taught, oh, you don't ask a woman her age, or you don't ask a woman, is
Right.
that her real hair? And then, like, social norm and expectations. We're setting people up for failure to
Right.
begin with
Right.
by continuously telling them, oh, you don't ask these questions. I'm asking the questions. And if you find it to be disrespectful, if you find it to be unpleasant, then by all means, I do apologize. You feel hurt. My intention is not to hurt you, but my intention is to know who you really are yourself. Is this a once in a while? Is this a once a day kind of thing? Is
Right.
this an everyday kind of thing? And let me see what you look like underneath all of that. Because
Right.
at the end of the day, I'm gonna be like, all right, cool. I accept it now, but then 4 years down the line, I don't like the way you look. Period. I'm gonna get somebody that I like because obviously that's what I like. Why do you think most women hate getting hit on at the gym? But why do you think men do it? Because right then and there, makeup falls off a sweat.
That is
Okay,
not true. That is not. I see
yo,
some people at the gym with a whole full face of makeup
oh,
on.
and and that's just sad. That's just sad too. That's just sad too. And the fact that you even gotta do that, you go there to work out, man. You go there to be like, you go there to be sweaty and stinky, and a person still approaches you. That means he likes you for you. Now, if you doll yourself up, that's cool. But he likes you for you at your ugly bummy phase.
Right.
A person comes to you, that means they like you for you, the real you, the unapologetic you.
Right.
Not you that's dolled up, not you that's taking sideways pictures in different outfits and that makeup and got your face looking contour, but then all of that comes on, you got a pepperoni face full of acne blemishes and things like that. Let a person make that decision for themselves.
Right.
If they want to be with somebody who's got pimples everywhere, let that person make that decision for themselves. Don't get mad and then, like, let's say, okay, cool, you keep up the lie. That's fine, cool. Don't get mad when you get what you get. Consequences.
Mm.
Own up to that. Because there ain't nobody forcing you to be something that you're not. You're choosing to do it because you want the attention. You want the individual. You want that certain individual. And that's cool.
Everybody. Oh,
But it could also be avoiding public shaming because people these days are cruel. Do you know how many
Yeah.
times people have posted pictures online and random people that don't even know them will come online and comment? I was just talking to somebody about this the other day. Come online and comment all kinds of nastiness. Like if you don't have
Yeah.
this, why even come
And,
here? Just
and,
keep on
and,
scrolling.
and you know what? And you know what's crazy about that? Consequences. Social media made it easier for people to be online bullies. Now, if
Yeah.
you don't want that for yourself, you know what's easy about social media compared to the real world? You can delete the app. You can put it on do not disturb. You can ignore it. You can basically take off the notification. But now you found something else that, oh, you getting so many likes. You like it that people like you, and you like it that people like the way you look. But then every now and again you get somebody who hurts your feelings. That's a part of that social media world. If you don't want it, don't be in it. Social media is doing nothing but being itself. Accept it and move on. And if you don't want people to tell you about yourself,
Oh
don't
God.
want people to break you down, don't put yourself on social media. And if you're that sensitive, don't put yourself on social media.
Trish, you were gonna say something many moons ago. I'm sorry, you might have even lost track of it. That was
I don't even think people check their social media comments. Like it's kind of like already planned out for like 2 years. People walk away 3 years later and they're just so I don't know that there's much interaction with there, but I just people are people. Like nobody should tell you anything about the way you dress, the way you approach, like what you look like, what you do. But people are always judging your personality and character. They don't hear past that. So for me, those are just bots. I don't really vibe with anything like that. Like the people that I can hear and see, that's what I gravitate to. But there are things that you entertain, and there's things that you just don't entertain, and there's things there I don't get it. Like just
so then
do you and
I'm gonna come back.
mind your business and go. Like I don't know.
Yes, I completely agree with that. And I'm gonna circle back around to a conversation we were having before we press live about Mike touched on it about intentions. Like people when they're speaking, their intentions not always being conveyed um, because they're not flowering the things that they're saying to make somebody
Mm.
else feel good. When it comes down to effective communication, like how do you balance that? This is my intention, even though my words may not always come out the way you expect them to, You know my attention.
Trial and error. Simple. Trial and error. Nobody's perfect. It's just going to be 100% in the gut trial and error for every individual.
So
And
then,
if it's a person of romantic interest, it's going to be a trial and error the entire time of your relationship.
should people, should people change the way that they talk in order to make someone else feel comfortable with what they're saying?
No.
Nah, not change, but more so adapt. Because you still being yourself, but you just learning a new skill.
What's the difference?
That is a good question. What is the difference?
I think if
No,
it's a professional setting, maybe you want to
no,
adapt.
because it's like you said, you could do it for work. Why not do it for your personal life? It still doesn't change who you are. And if you don't want to, then you don't have to. But if you want to, once again, you're choosing to make that decision. These are
So
all
I
about
want to be the same
But you
person at work that I am at home. Like
I
I
was
want
about
to
to say,
be.
I
I
am
don't want
the
to
same
have to.
thing.
Yeah, exactly. And once again, that's a choice too. These are all choices. If you're choosing to make that, like if you're choosing to take that kind of work mentality home, then hey, by all means, that's you. But if
But
you're
it's
not,
not for me, it's not a work mentality though. Like at work, I'm not like stuffy, pinky up. Hello, sir.
No.
Can I talk to you about the good news? Like I don't. I'm the same way at home. Like I bring my home self to work
yeah,
Yeah.
versus bringing my work self home. Does that
then
make
you
Right.
sense?
no, but like I said, you're different though. Not everybody's in the same atmosphere as you. You got to understand that too. Just because you are able to do that, and your profession allows you to do that, not
Right.
everybody's
That's
profession
true.
allows them to do that. So, like the video says, you lie to everybody else, lie to me. Because
Right.
you got, and exactly, she wants the better version of you that she's not getting. So she wants you to lie. He says, I can't lie to you because I love you.
Right.
So if you love her, then be kind to her. Ask her what is it that she wants. And if you cannot meet that, then let her go.
That's that effective communication, being able
Let
to
her go.
verbalize your needs.
And it goes to something where Trish says people are just possessive and controlling. And it's a control factor because now it's like, I don't want to let it go because I don't want somebody else to play with my toys.
Oh boy, yes, that's a
I'd
heavy.
And
rather
that's
keep it and be miserable. I'd rather keep it and be unhappy than to
Than
watch
see somebody
somebody
else.
else
I
make
do
them
want
happy,
to clarify
and watch
on that
somebody else
too.
make them grow and be better.
On a spectrum. Like that is the worst case scenario. Actually, that's not the worst case scenario. There's beyond that. But on a spectrum, right? On a spectrum, there is some sort of, and we're raised like that. Like once again, if I want to go to the history and how we're raised, believed, system, indoctrinated with
Mhm.
all of these things, you can't help but sometimes slip into that. I mean, I went in back and forth with different relationships, friendships, workmanships, or whatever you want to call it. Like every place that I've gone to, there's been some sort of control factor that there is no like flexibility. And I talked about like coexisting at one point, like in
Mhm.
these
Yeah.
spaces, like you don't have a choice. I'm an immigrant who came over here, to the US, having to learn the system and the language and the body language and the all of that. And it was too much. It takes away from me being myself. I can't do
Hmm.
that. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So like, and so now people are vexed that I have this Toronto vibe thing and I'm so like abrupt and I'm kind of like, whatever it is, I don't care. It's not my business. But like, that's the way I am. I'm an artist. That's the way I flow. And like that is me in my best. Don't come interfering with my madness if you don't want none of this. But in the same breath, you find your flow. You carve out these spaces for you. And when you do have to interact with spaces that you're just not, like you're there to do whatever you're there to do, like you're not going to get your full authentic self because you already adopted all of those identities before you've come to your space.
Mm.
And when you get with somebody, none of us are fully aware of what we're doing anyway. So like we're just
It goes back to the old podcast where I said that you got to make sure the juice is worth the squeeze, bro.
don't
I do
know
remember
that.
that.
Yeah, you got to make sure the juice is worth the squeeze, bro. It's like all this effort you gonna put
I'm
into
blessed.
somebody.
I have nothing
You know what I'm
negative to
saying?
say.
All the effort you putting into this person to make lemonade and orange juice from scratch, you better make sure the juice is worth the squeeze, bro. That fruit you grab, you better make sure it's worth that
Everything
picture you putting all that stuff in. make sure it's worth it, the effort you're gonna put into it. Because if not, you just leave, bro.
Everything is worth effort. Everything I touched, everything that I touch, I know is worth it. And then there's a expiration date, and then there's a restart date, and there's a reinvention date, and then there's seasons and all wonderful stuff.
And like for some of us, and I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to relationships, I want to date. I genuinely try to date for a purpose, not just for fun. But I date for a purpose. My goal is, but I'm still dating, and I'm like, until I commit to one person, I'm still, you know what I mean, doing me, and I expect the person to do themselves. But to me, like marriage is like ain't no leaving me type of joint because I'm not the one for that. And if you want marriage, believe me, I'm all for it. Just know you won't have to go up and through there for it, bro. Cause it's just like, cause at the end of the day, I tell them up front, bro, it says death do us part. Ain't no leaving me. One of us gotta die, and it ain't gonna be me. So knowing this, do you still want this? Cause off rip, it's called I'm gonna give you unconditional love. And I know for a fact we gonna go up and through it and I'm gonna still rock with you. People's like, oh, what if your girl has a boyfriend or she cheated on you? Well, that's great. Now she got a boyfriend and a husband. Tell that mofo rent's due on the first. What's up? What's happening? Because at the end of the day, you signed up for this. And I'm telling you, I tell them up front, you signed up for this. You wanted this. This is what you getting. I ain't signing nothing to say we parting ways. We gonna make this shit happen. But if that ain't for you, then by all means, let's kick it, have fun, and then when you find somebody else that matches what you want in your mind, not here, but in your mind and on paper, you go ahead and you get that. And if somehow, somewhere we seem to come back around full circle and we rocking it, then let's rock. But if not, then it's cool. God bless you. Have fun. I wish nothing but the best for you in your relationship endeavors. But don't come around here pushing marriage and thinking you finna leave me. What?
But that comes back to effective communication, being able to say, these are my things. This
Right?
is what I'm coming with. Do you like it or not? Do you accept these terms or not?
Yeah. And I was talking to Jordan a while back, and I was telling her, I'm always like, listen, go have fun on your girls trip. Go this, go do that. Just don't come back pregnant. Jordan's like, see, that's
That's not unconditional. That's a condition.
unconditional. And I was like, you know what? How I'm saying it, she's not receiving it the way I'm thinking of it in my mind. So I was like this. If I tell you in the beginning, upfront, if I'm upfront with you and I tell you in the beginning, the thought of another woman having a baby by somebody else, to me, I feel like you love that individual. You want a piece of him for the rest of your life because essentially that's literally what it is. That other child comes into the world. He is a reminder. That baby boy or girl is a reminder of you and the person you did your thing with.
Okay.
And it takes 9 months to bring that into this world, right? You're in a relationship with me. Have that conversation with me up front if that's what you want, a baby, and let me decide if I'm okay with that. But I'm gonna tell you up front, in my mind, this is how I perceive it. You love that person, and if you love them, go be with them. But don't have your fun, do you? Just don't come back pregnant, because I'm always going to assume that just how women think, oh, he's cheated on me with this girl, he loves her. He don't love her. There's nothing about her he loves. When you carry somebody's baby, you love them. To me, in my mind. And Jordan's like, no, that's not true. What if they want a kid? Then you communicate that to me. You let me know that up front, and I'll tell you what's up if we gonna go on this route. If I'm shooting blanks, then by all means, I got no choice, right?
Okay.
If I want to be with you and you want a kid, and somebody
That's also a state of mind too. Like you got to be in the proper state of mind. You're asking for some hefty ways. Like if you're in love with somebody and you vibe it and you want them to go on a girls trip and you're not trying to hold any kind of stipulations, like you're really not even putting that out there. Like why would you worry about your girl coming back pregnant? Like that's
no. At the end of the day, like I said,
I mean,
because
accidents happen.
no, like I said,
Yeah, it does.
no.
It does.
Like I said, I'm an understandable person. Human beings, we're flawed by nature. I don't want anybody to think for a second when you with me that you gonna catch me slipping. No, it's not that. I understand the nature of human behavior. Just don't come back pregnant. I'm not finna be like, oh, if you feel like you want to hop on somebody and get it in real quick, unbeknownst to me, and you know for a fact I ain't gonna find out. Because like I said, I've been the side dude for a lot of people that are still married to this day.
But
So,
what if she wanted to tell you, like you said,
and by all means, if she wanted to tell me, then cool, let's talk about it. I ain't gonna be mad. I ain't gonna be mad. It took me a while. When I say it took me a while to come to this point, it's fighting social norms and expectations. It's fighting the man code. It's fighting the bro code. It's fighting the alpha code. It's fighting the beta code. It's fighting. I'm breaking codes here.
Lots of codes going on. Woo.
Yeah, I'm breaking a lot of codes here to basically reinvent myself. And I chose to reinvent myself this way. That's a choice. Nobody played a role into it. That's just me. I said, you know what? I'm seeing the normal society pattern. And I'm like, I don't want this for myself. So what do I want for myself? I want this, that, and the third. Well, this, that, and the third comes at a cost. This is what you're looking at when it comes at a cost. All right, cool. I got to put myself up and through that. I dated women where they like women and they made out with women in front of me. And I'm like, ugh, don't like it. This is, I'm not with it. I'm not with it. And then boom, hooked up with somebody else next time around. And it was a whole bunch, like I said, a lot of generational trauma, a lot of the social norm and expectations I had to break to get myself to the point where I understand human nature and I understand the actual term of unconditional love. Because we love with conditions. But if I'm communicating with you, it's communicating effectively. Like you said, if you want a child and you say, hey, babe, listen, I went on a trip. I got knocked up. I'm afraid to go to the clinic by myself and handle this. Can you come with me? I have no choice. If I love you and the fact that you came to me about it, yo, I'm going to respect you even more because you came to me about it. You feel me? But if I heard it from the grapevines, I can rock with you. If I find out 8 years later the kid is not mine, yo, bro, like come on, fam. Why would you do that to me? Why would you even feel the urge to do that? That means there's a rift in our relationship. There's a rift in our union.
Okay.
In our friendship for that matter. Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. You keep it 100 with me. I'm not looking for no Bonnie and Clyde. I'm looking for like my brother, like Casey and JoJo say all my life. Close to me, you're like my brother. Close to me, you're like my sister. Close to me, you're like, you know how the song is, right? So why is it so hard for you to basically, if I give you an opportunity to be honest with me, and that's the key, openly communicate with me. Honestly, I will respect you more for telling me than to have me find out.
But
And
that
that's all we want, though.
goes back to the conversation we had before about, yes, you're saying I'm open and I'm available to whatever you have to say, but like you said, we have to remember all the other experiences before that, all the other people I tried to be honest with and they told me your honesty is not what I want. Lie to me, make
Yeah,
me feel good.
yeah,
So then when you get to
Or
this
just shame
place
you
where,
for it, right?
right,
Yeah, or there's some kind of
right, like imagine being
tell you
pregnant.
your manhood, your womanhood, your being, your personality, your character,
Right.
whatever it is. Like
yeah.
those things make
Like,
people change their mind.
it's hard. Being honest in today's society is hard because we are rewarded continuously for
You're not very
dishonesty,
likely.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hear the truth. Nobody wants the honest person who's even, when you sugarcoat it and put rainbows and sprinkles on top of it, people find some way to get offended. You could be as calm as a cucumber speaking the truth, and people will find ways to be offended because it doesn't make them feel good. So it's hard to effectively communicate in relationships when society is telling us and showing us that being honest isn't safe. You're
No, it's
going to
not.
be ostracized and rejected and shamed and guilted and all of those things, or not even society, but your family.
Yeah, yeah. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's like literally okay for a lot of bad things to take. Remember, we were being raised. We were also being followed by a generation that had the generation before them that were okay with being lied to on a daily basis.
Right.
Where as long as you paid the bills, she didn't need to know anything.
Right.
And as long as he paid the bills and you kept him fed. He didn't need to know anything.
So many people have that mentality. As long as you're doing what you're supposed to do in the relationship, everything else.
And once again, those people ain't wrong for that. They are not wrong for that at all. They are not. You know what I'm saying? There's women out there's some women, somebody had posted, it was like, and I found it funny. They was like, breaking up with your man or divorcing your husband for cheating on you is like giving your kid up for adoption because they misbehaving. That's a person's mentality choice. But are they wrong? No, because let's be real. You're expecting something that's impossible.
Well,
this is
not impossible, but
no, and the reason I say it is impossible because people are going to break at some point because it's a continuation. Every day you see what's in front of you. Every day you're being tested by the opposite sex that you find attractive. It's the moment you're in a relationship, that's when everybody wants to come at you. That's when everybody wants to hit you up in your DMs. That's when everybody wants to pop up in your coffee shop, your restaurant, your workplace, this, that, and the third. And you're constantly being like, no. You'll probably have 2,000 no's, and then you walk around and get that one yes. Your whole life, your whole relationship is ruined. Is that fair?
no.
Is that fair? No. So,
but for some people, it's once that thing happens, it's hard to find
and once again, it is, and it is very, and then you know what the issue is like when you felt the moment you felt weak, the moment you even thought about it, that's that hard part where you have to communicate effectively and be like, yo, babe, listen, it's not that I don't love you. I'm just having a hard time right about now. Because I feel like I'm constantly being approached. I'm constantly being tested, and I don't want to break. I don't want to betray you. I don't want to do nothing wrong to hurt what we got going on. I'm coming to you because I'm in a weak place right now with this situation.
But and that's not always received well. Because some women will be like, oh, thank you. And others will be like, oh, so you got girls coming after you. So now I got to check your phone. And now I got to watch you at the hospital.
Exactly. And it's and unfortunately, like we said, social norm and expectations. People are coming from a hurt place. And that to communicate to that high degree, male and female alike, is hard because you're going to get a great deal of pushback, but at the same point in time, they're going to look at it in the future, and whatever the decision was made, they're going to look at it and they're going to think about you. The right ones, the real ones, going to think about you and be like, yo, they was honest with me about it. Because no matter what we all say, you're going to respect somebody for telling you the truth, that they themselves are having a problem remaining your definition of faithful. And they need something to help. They need your help. Right. They need something. They need your guidance. They need your support, whatever that may be. And it's at that time when you come together and you make your decision on what game plan that's going to work for your marriage, that's going to work for your relationship. And you have to have that conversation. I'm biased, and you got to have that conversation objectively and not have your past trauma affect you. And making that conversation with that individual. Don't look at it as, oh, your ex did this, your last person did that. No. This is a new person.
Right now. We're right now. Right
here. Yeah, just like you move from apartment to apartment, home to home. This is a new home. You don't bring the trauma from the last place to the new place. So don't do that in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? So and it's going to be hard for a lot of people. It's going to be hard for a lot of people to do that.
With that being said, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, go.
No, because I'm about to shut it down. Say what you got to say.
Not a lot of people are choosing to have or be in relationships, and relationships are very different right now. It's modern times. Yeah. Like nothing is the same. People are doing, there's so many doings, whatever. But
yes, there are so many doings. So many doings. So many doings, things, and doing of things and of people. It's so many things. So many lovely things.
I love me.
And you should. Should always put yourself first.
I don't know about we talked a lot about like the cheating aspect of it, but I was like, there's so much more that it's not merely cheating, but it's other things. But
yeah, I mean, like the cheating aspect is like, it's for everybody is different. It's a case by scenario. It's really a case by case scenario because like
some sort of betrayal though, yeah.
Yeah, because it's like I was dating somebody where they felt like watching porn is cheating. I'm like, excuse me,
Oh,
or
yeah.
touching, or like you self pleasuring yourself. There's men and women both feeling like their partner pleasuring themselves is a form of cheating, and they look at it as a disrespect. I can't date them kind of people. Period.
All that comes back to insecurity, though. Like, I don't want you to pleasure yourself because what if you enjoy it more than you enjoy me? Like that.
That's a problem. I
But
love
anyways, with that being said, we are beyond time. We're going to start wrapping it up. So, do we have any last minute thoughts, questions, comments, concerns on the topic of effective communication? Any last minute tips? Anything?
I've said it all, but I'll reiterate it.
You sure did say it all.
I reiterate it. Listen, just be comfortable to have that conversation with your peoples, no matter how difficult it may be. It'll save your relationship in the long run. It may seem odd, it may seem kind of rocky, but they're gonna take their time to process it, and they're gonna be in their feelings, and they're gonna act in a knee jerk way. But give them time, and they're gonna come back and appreciate your honesty.
Right. And if they can't,
And if they can't, then it's perfectly fine. Then it's better for you to be true to yourself than to remain a lie and to hurt their feelings down the line. Because the longer you with somebody, the more feelings grow and they stay strong. It's roots.
Trish, do you have anything?
Keep working on communicating, please. There's already a study out there. There's literally multiple studies out there saying that communication is at its lowest that it's ever been, which is mortifying because our kids text message and use the shortest.
Right.
So it's definitely going to remain an issue, and this is a topic to definitely lean into. And it's not just your personal relationships; it's all of your relationships, partnerships, jobs, the way you treat your body, food, all of that. Like it does carry over across everything.
And I completely agree with that. And with that being said, that is our time for today. Thanks for leaning in with us. I leave you with the question: how are you effectively communicating in your relationships, whatever that looks like, not just romantic? We will see you all next time. Until then, bye.
Enjoy. Be easy.